Welcome back, UT watch addicts. Today let's take a look at the Casio MWD110H. Bottom line up front, this watch rocks. I would not be surprised if this is the watch that defines Casio for the next couple of years, maybe even more than that. Personally, I think this will make a similar impact to the community the way that the Royale or the F91 has. Very few things have caught my attention from Casio for a while, so I let this one slip past my radar just by virtue of Casio not even being in my peripherals. Luckily, there was one on display at my local store, and seeing it in person was an immediate no-brainer that I had to buy one. I picked mine up for $34, and you can reasonably find it online for around that price. I'd say $30 to $40 is what you should expect. At that price, I would classify this watch as an extreme value watch. You're getting a whole hell of a lot of wristwatch awesomeness at that price. You can't deny that it has a slap you in the face level of awesomeness. It has that X factor that would be at home on the wrist of the main character of a space epic or an 80s time traveling saga, and anyone that grew up with those stories is going to connect with this watch. Here are the dimensions. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. It's close enough to almost every other mid-size Casio watch out there. I think it will fit all wrist sizes, and it does sit on my 7 3/4 inch wrist just fine. For reference, here are some side-by-sides. Let's start with the Casio Royale. And here it is next to an A1000. And here it is next to a legendary Square. It's nothing close to the hardware of the Square, however the materials used are fitting with the $40 price tag. We've got a steel bezel, a resin crystal, a resin case, and a steel case back plate. All of this gives the watch 100 meters of water resistance, so it is a true beater watch that can take a beating in anything you can throw at it. The feature set includes all the things that made us fall in love with Casio in the first place. We've got a 24-hour timer, a 24-hour stopwatch, an alarm, dual time, and a backlight. Here's a quick preview of the alarm. And here's a look at that backlight. This soft amber LED, in my opinion, is one of the best executions of a backlight in the industry. The dial is the star of the show. The layout is straightforward and uncomplicated. There's calendar data at the top, a 10-second animation, a mode indicator, and then main time. The real winner here is the display clarity. It's incredibly sharp in a way that you just don't see in other budget digital watches. All of this, surrounded by the beautifully brushed steel bezel, is perfection on a level that transcends anything else Casio has done in a while. It's a little bit retro, futuristic, industrial, geeky, and it encapsulates every quality that I love in digital watches. Of course, this aesthetic style isn't anything groundbreaking to Casio's catalog, but it is an excellent addition to the $30 to $40 price tier. Believe it or not, most normal people aren't dumb enough to spend a few $100s on a metal G-Shock Square, and something like this MWD110 is much more palatable. The icing on the cake is the 10-year battery life, which means that this watch will outlive your interest in the watch completely. I think there's an overemphasis on the lifespan of a watch, which I think is valid, but honestly, if a watch can last reliably for 8 to 10 years, that's more than enough for me before I stop giving any shits about the watch. Of course, there are exceptions to this, but at this budget, 8 to 10 years is perfectly acceptable. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Overall, I'm stoked with this watch, and I recommend it completely. Whether you want it as a beater, as a desk diver, to add to your collection, or even as a gift, I think it will do whatever you need from it with flying colors. Hopefully I was able to show you some new angles you hadn't seen before. If you made it this far, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.